Hi, hello, how are you, Amanda? Today I'm a makeup lover. Today I'm going to play with traditional foundation. I tried Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Foundation. I am using color 6 Neutral. Okay, I was properly matched to it. I went in and I let somebody match me because my expertise is in Seint, not necessarily traditional. I'm also going to be using Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm going to show you how Seint works so well with traditional makeup because the contours, the bronzers, the blushes, they are foundational coverage. So when you have stuff, my biggest thing with traditional makeup was I needed so much to cover my stuff that I had such heavy makeup. I've been able to morph and hybrid Seint into traditional makeup that it's not heavy and it doesn't have that heavy texture. So let's do the makeup. I'm going to show you everyday makeup. This isn't full coverage. This isn't glam. I see those tutorials. This is your everyday face. This is your go to work face. This is your go to church face. This is your go to the grocery store, answer your front door face. All right, I'm going to use Milk Hydro Grip. I love this stuff. It's so good. I am using a Seint brush. Different brushes do different things. I'm going to be using the Buff brush today, and I used it yesterday, and I really loved the longevity of my makeup. I did do a wear test with it, and there's some things I learned that I'm going to talk about in this, but it is going to be a hybrid of Seint into this because I do think Seint has great tools. Okay, to prep, I did my Milk Hydro Grip. I'm going to go into my Seint palette and I'm going to get my balm. This is something that I noticed. I still got the gathering that always bothered me about traditional makeup. So I'm going to take some balm and I'm going to press it in to the crease of my nose here. And this is going to help with being able to reset, because one of the things I noticed with the Tarte, I had set my under eyes like I've done with Seint before with my Laura Mercier. It caused crepiness, separation, and I couldn't reset it. I'm going to take the balm and I'm going to put that under my eyes as also a prep for my traditional makeup. This balm, this is the peach scent. They have unscented. It's so good with traditional makeup. So I'm just setting this under the eyes and then I'm going to dig in to the makeup, but setting it in the crease of my nose to help with the gathering and the clunking helps. And then I'm going to put it under my eyes. I want a decent amount because traditional makeup is so different than creams. One of the things that I noticed with the Charlotte Tilbury is the feel of it on my skin. I tried the Fenty and it was a matte finish and it felt super dry. It felt like it was on my skin. This had a very comparable feel to Seint and I liked that a lot. All right, I'm gonna grab it. I'm going in on the big end of the Buff brush. This is such a great brush for traditional makeup. I'm gonna pump a little bit on. It's runny. I'm used to creams though. And I'm going to go and I'm going to do that all over color, and I'm going to balance my skin. And I feel like the coverage is going to be lighter. It's going to be thinner. This is a medium coverage foundation, but I did find that it was quite buildable, especially over my cheeks. But again, this is my high traffic area, but it's also my contour, my bronzer, my blush area. And that's where hybriding in Seint was super helpful because I didn't have to pile on foundation and concealer, and I'm able to just one pump at a time build this up. I'm focusing this on the lower part of my face because again, using Seint, I'm going to be able to get the coverage that I want, but I did think this held up really well with the day. I wasn't just like around my house doing housework yesterday. I went out. I was outside. I was at an aquarium. I went out to a restaurant. I was driving around. I was dropping off kids. I was being mom of the year. I was being auntie of the year, Auntie-saurus of the year. And my makeup held up really well. I'm bringing this down my neck just to help. Your face doesn't end at your jawline, so don't let your makeup end at your jawline. Bring that down. Everybody's going to see the difference, and so you need to blend it down so it cohesively blends down. Okay. So I'm just adding this on and I want it to give me some coverage. So I'm going to go over my cheeks and I'm just building it up. But again, this is a medium coverage. I don't even like calling it a medium coverage, but it feels so good on my skin. But I am focusing it on the lower part of my face. But we all know I really hate my stuff. But I'm putting not even a half a pump on my cheeks right now, just for the extra coverage. I'm going to bring this up and over my brows, just blending it up and around over my nose. And then we're gonna go into my Tarte concealer. And my Tarte concealer I do in a lighter color, and I'm not gonna be using colored powder. But I do this in a light coverage. This says it's medium. I find it to be light coverage, but not like a BB cream. Okay, I'm using Tarte Shape Tape. This is the Ultra Creamy, and it's in color 22N Light Neutral. I have it in the travel size because the cost of these bad boys, I mean, this is a $50 foundation, and I find it comparable to Seint, which is $16. So just had to put that out there. And this concealer, I think this little guy was $15. $16. So it's about the same price. So if you want a full size, it's double that. All right, we're going in, and I am going to wipe off a little. We're gonna go right in the middle here, add some brightening. I'm gonna do my Cupid's bow on either side here, and then I'm gonna add a little arrow down, up, and then we're gonna go in on the inner corners. I'm just gonna grab over here, and I'm gonna hit my darkness first. I have a really hard time getting this concealer to cover my darkness. Not gonna lie, I feel like it looks more dirty than covering. And this does not reset. And that was another problem that I had, but using that balm helps with the consistency throughout the day. Whereas Seint, I feel like I can reset it and make it look really good again. Okay, we're gonna take the small end of the buff brush, and I'm just gonna tap out my brightening here. We're gonna push this over my brows, and we're just gonna blend this out, bringing it down the nose a little bit, but I'm just concealing right here, covering my redness, and adding that brightening concept, which I love so much. Hitting those tips of the Cupid's bow right here, because it's a pretty area, and you want to accentuate that. It's so pretty. And then blending out my brightening here, it gives me a little extra coverage for my redness. And then I'm gonna go into this inner corner here, and I'm really gonna stipple this and focus this on that inner corner for coverage, under the eye. And like I always do, I focus on my orbital bone first, probably out of habit, but I am pulling this where I have majority here. I pull it straight over and under the eye, but having that focus on my darkness and stippling it helps, and that balm makes it look creamier, not crepey. It's just good. The balm is the bomb with all makeup. You want it for your under eyes, whether you're using a cream under eye, whether you're using a concealer like Tarte. It's really, really good. I'm gonna add some more to my nose after I do my contour, but this is where the hybriding happens. I'm gonna go into my cedar contour here, and I'm gonna contour right here, and it just, when it blends on top of that foundation, I put a very light amount on my forehead, but it does glide over it really nicely. But again, this gives you some coverage also, and then I'm just going to blur between that concealer and that contour because it's not like the cream. And so I'm able to blend it together a bit by bit, just like that. And it looks really, really nice. It's a hair day, so I have it pulled back, which is perfect because I really wanted to be able to show you all the nooks and crannies. I'm gonna go in on the side of my detail brush. I'm leaving this buff brush specific to my traditional makeup and not mixing it together. And then this detail, you know, I love it for contouring. And then I'm gonna go right up the sides of the nose here. I overcorrect here, pushing it into my brow. Same on the side. And then I'll use my concealer to straighten out and hide that bump that bothers me. Nobody else, it just bothers me. Your makeup should be what makes you feel best. And I've tried other foundations, Laura Mercier, Urban Decay, Fenty, and I haven't found a foundation that I feel like I can stand behind. I want to come and show you foundations and how you can work with Seint with it, but I want a foundation I feel like I can stand behind. And when I used this, I was like, if Seint was ever gone forever, I would 100% stay with this. I said the same thing about the Fenty, but I noticed that my scarring was pulling through throughout the day. It didn't hold my makeup well. This one did. This one absolutely did. So I'm just gonna contour my nose. Takes me a little longer. And then I'm gonna do my cheeks. And just like I do with all my makeup, I stipple. I like the stipple method, and I am contouring my cheekbones above that natural shadow. Cedar is such a good color, and it because it has foundational coverage, it's also hiding my hyperpigmentation. And I'm putting that over here. Really, oh, this side is my bad side. I have that really dark spot and it hides it so well. But that foundation that I put on, that Charlotte Tilbury, it does a really good job also covering it a bit. And I really like the way that this does come together. So if you're looking for when you can put all your makeup on and it's all foundation without adding heavy layers, because this is about 40% pigmentation, this is 20% pigmentation, and then your contour and then your bronzer is all 80% pigmentation, you will still have less makeup on your face. You will still. So finding a good contour is nice, and it blends really easily over this foundation because it's not a mattifying foundation. It feels hydrating. It feels like it's a cream. It's a really great foundation option. All right, I'm gonna go in to Xanadu. I love this bronzer. And it's gonna be back in December. I'm thinking by the end of the year, this will be back as permanent. So you can't get it now, but you will be able to get it by the new year, I believe. And so I'm just gonna bronze like I like to do with my Xanadu, going on over. So I have my contour and I'm coming up on top a little bit. And I'm gonna smile. And again, all of this is foundational coverage. So I'm still getting coverage where maybe the foundation fell short, but I'm not having to put a heavy, thick concealer over top. I'm able to put a nice, thin, highly pigmented cream on top. And look at how pretty this is coming together. Honestly, it just looks flawless and I love it, and it's traditional. I'm never gonna yuck a yum, but I wanna bring you products I wanna stand behind. I'm never gonna show you a foundation that doesn't give me the confidence to be able to walk out my door. That's it, the end, okay? So I'm just adding that Xanadu right up here. Just like that. Xanadu is such a pretty color. It's that perfect medium if you feel like something's pulling too warm. Xanadu is just so toasty and so good. I'm gonna take just a fluffy brush. If you have a kabuki brush, just give everything a good little smush smash sweeperoo. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go into my blush. And I'm going to use a nice light color. I'm going to use Hollywood, and I'm going to find a blush brush. This is my blend brush on the fluffy end. I really like this blush brush, and I'm going over it. I love Hollywood because it's light and it's going to help cover my scarring. I'm going to dip into my Frenchie also. But again, these are foundational coverage. My acne scarring is deep, and it pulls through pretty easily, and it gives me a lot of insecurity. But tapping this on, I still have that dewy finish that I get with my cream, but I don't have that heaviness that I get with the layers I used to pile on. So I'm going in, this is my Frenchie. It looks like it's gone. It is not. I'm grabbing a little bit on that fluffy end of the blend brush. I'm going to smile and I'm going to go right over my scarring, exactly where the scarring is, and the way that it works with Hollywood is just this little touch of yum. The touch of yum. And I'm just tapping it out and tapping it in. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of cedar. We're gonna contour the lip. But using a traditional makeup, you can do it with Seint to get that beautiful coverage without that heavy makeup look. Just taking this and blending everything nicely. I'm gonna take a peekaroo at my under eyes, using that balm with Tarte Shape Tape. It gives it a creamier finish and less drying, and it's so nice. So if you're living in the humidity and those under eyes, we all know what that can do. It's a really, using the balm with it, it just mixes it to that perfect world. I was just hearing from somebody who was saying the humidity just has the makeup not sitting the same as they usually like it. So adding Tarte with the balm, I think is worth trying. I mean, Ulta has, I think, a 60-day return policy to give it a whirl. The balm is just so good. I'm going to go into Wherever Walnut. This is a Makeup Forever lip liner. It is so pretty for a night. I've been living for the neutral lip lately, and I just line my lips with it, and then I'm gonna go over it with something. I don't know if I've got my lipstick in here. I think I put it in my purse. I got my oil. We'll do oil. I kind of want to, what's over there? I have a lipstick in here that's unopened, but I love it so much I don't want to open it. You ever have one of those things where you go buy something and you're like, I don't want to use it because I don't want it to be gone, and then you never use it. It's like that favorite shirt that you save for special occasions and then one never happens. Okay, I'm going to take the Seint lip oil. Back for good. Back for good. Same with the lipstick. I prefer the lipstick over the oil, but it's still really good. And it reminds me of, if you like chapsticks and balms, you'll love the lipstick and the oil. But I just let Wherever Walnut be my lip liner, and then I let my lip color play with it. It's so pretty. That's my face. Tell me this is not just like the summer toasty, I'm gonna go sit on a patio and I'm gonna sit with my girlfriend. Like, this is such a beautiful summer toast with traditional makeup. So if you're looking for a nice, light, hydrating, traditional foundation, because I don't know, this is just something I've been asked a lot about, is what foundation would you recommend? Because sometimes you want to try something new. That's fine. You can have the foundation you want. This Charlotte Tilbury is really good. It's $50. That's where I have the struggle bus, but it has longevity. It does have long wear without that heavy, I don't feel like my skin is clogged. It's living with my skin. So I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I desperately need to get more. I love this stuff. I'm going to spray and do my setting sandwich. I am going to use Seint setting powder. I have not found one comparable. I haven't. I'm going to take a fluffy brush. You should not set your under eyes when you have Tarte. If you have a NARS, any of those concealers that are thick like those, I don't care if you're prepping with the balm, you don't take, even the Laura Mercier, I did it yesterday and it made it too thick and it gave me that look of the makeup that I was trying to get away from. So add vanilla dust as your setting powder, and when you think it's empty, you can then go under and you can set your under eyes. But we're gonna add some hydration to it, and we're gonna take a little bit of that powder. You will always have a powder finish if you put any amount of powder on. Take that setting spray, spray it on your face again, and press it in to those areas that are a high texture, like your under eyes, and press it in, and it'll pick up excess powder and it'll help reduce the texture of it. And it gives you a beautiful finish. I will say this, I'm using this and it feels comparable to Seint. However, the dewy finish I get with Seint is not the same. It's not as dewy. It's not as skin-like, but it is an amazing product. I will stand behind a Charlotte Tilbury foundation. This, again, is the Beautiful Skin Foundation. I'm using color 6 Neutral. I do recommend going in and getting a proper match by somebody. And then I'm using Tarte Shape Tape with the balm in color 22N Light Natural. I love the finish of my makeup. I'm gonna go get my hair done now, but I thought, you know what? My hair's up, my hair is back. I wanna show every day what this is. Again, grocery store, work, church, sitting on your couch, and you can answer the door and feel good. But I wanted to show how you can hybrid things together without having heavy makeup. I like everyday makeup. I want realistic everyday makeup, and hybriding these together, there's not a lot of, and I know I'm running on about this, there's not a lot of contours out there that are pigmented to 80%. So it's not gonna give you that coverage. My stuff is covered because I'm able to use a contour and a blush and a bronzer that is foundational coverage. It is super pigmented and then I can use less. And so I think morphing them together is so good. But I love coming to you with traditional products that work great together. So that's it. Have a great day.